Welcome to another edition of Along the Rock, brought to you by the Radar Free Press. I'm your host, Emma Watts, and today we are joined by Ben and Janet Jarvis. Welcome. Thank you guys for coming in today.
Thanks for inviting us.
Of course. So it's my understanding that back in December of 2024, Ben, you were diagnosed with spindle cell sarcoma. However, currently you are well on your way to recovery. You're still under the recovery process, but you are well on your way. So I would like to extend a congratulations for making it this far and pushing through. It's a difficult thing to deal with for both you and your friends and family.
Yes.
So going off of that in a more positive light, how does it feel knowing that you have come this far in your journey? And can you share a little bit about your journey?
I was diagnosed in December 2024. I had a total of 3 rounds of chemo, a total of 5 surgeries, and a month of radiation. It was long, but I always kept my mindset right and kept pushing forward day by day and just kept going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's important to have a positive mindset in those difficult times.
It is.
Yeah. And how about you, Janet? I'm sure things were difficult for you as well, looking back on that journey.
You kind of go, as a caretaker, you kind of go through the motions, and it doesn't really sink in till maybe after. His periodic 12 weeks in the hospital, we found a new norm. And so his chemo was 5 days in, 16 home. And repeat. So I would just bring my laptop and work, and he didn't really care for the food, so we DoorDash. And his chemo, he was hooked up in the evening hours, and once they started doing that, it would run throughout the night, and they'd unhook him in the morning. So once they started doing that, I'd walk over to the hotel and try and get some sleep, and then come back and do it again. So we found that we created our new normal of, okay, this is now what we do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Again, you talked about having a positive mindset, and you mentioned DoorDash. I'm curious now, what were some of your favorite, what was this kind of standard go-to order?
One time it was Ed DeBevic's chocolate shake. I'm like, okay. He conned the nurses to go down and pick it up for him at the front desk. He doctored at Northwestern in Chicago. So he would do that. TGI Fridays, Portillo's.
Limonades.
Yeah.
Oh, Limonades is my go-to anytime I'm in Chicago.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, they had decent food, but it wasn't what he wanted.
It wasn't Limonades.
No, and if he was going through this, I'm like, you can eat whatever you want, just DoorDash it, it's okay.
Yeah, keep that positive mindset.
Exactly.
Yeah, sure they have food, but if it's not what you want,
Right.
And if your mom is there and she's willing to pay for it,
Right.
I get it, I understand, I get it. So when you think back to the beginning of this year and back to December of last year when you were first diagnosed, is there something that surprises you or amazes you about yourself that you like in having come this far?
Yeah, at first there were a lot of tears, but her and I, we talk. We obviously talk all the time, but we just go day by day. At first I was worried about my strength, like, am I going to get through this? But I kept moving, I kept going, and I never gave up. I always just kept pushing every day. I gotta do this. Giving up isn't an option in my book, so that was my big thing. I told people, I'm not going anywhere. Giving up is not an option.
I think his positive attitude and strength and outlook helped me. So I'm like, okay. His sister and her family live close to us, and my grandkids adore Uncle Benny. They always call him like their second dad, because he's always like, yeah, I'll do that with you. Yeah, I can do that. When they see him in pain, then it really rocked their boat. But he had a great conversation after one of the emergency surgeries we had to have. Then they decided to keep us for another week and start the chemo. So my daughter came up with the kids and, Ben's brother-in-law, and he did an amazing job. He was in ICU, so it was only one of the kids at a time. And he sat down with each of them, said, "Get up here on my bed. Look, cancer doesn't define me. I'm going to beat this. I'm going to be okay. Yes, cancer sometimes takes people's lives. It's not taking mine." And it gave them the hope to carry on. And so really it was very unique because he was the strongest one, and we were all like, okay, what are we doing? Okay, Ben's good, so we're good. Okay.
But I'm sure it took a lot out of you guys probably to reach that point of kind of recognizing, like, if he's okay, we're okay too.
Yes, a lot of text messages with the family and his aunts of, well, what about this? Well, what about this? Or I'd be like, I don't know, I just listened to the doctor, Well, you need to ask this, and you got this, and are you okay? And it definitely, we had to rearrange our house and move beds around. So when he was home recovering, he was on the main floor, some things like that. But we just kept changing and adjusting and be like, okay, we got this. Yeah, we had some rough days.
There's some rough ones.
There were some days that we would argue.
Yeah.
But there truly was a calmness over us, like an understanding. And we've talked about it. That's the power of prayer. We had so many people praying for not only him and his docs and the care team, but for me as a caretaker and stuff. And we felt that calmness in our soul, and that was good.
Yeah. Moving on kind of to the next question, as you mentioned, as with life in any situation, there's always those really, really hard days. But with those hard days, as you mentioned, there is something or there is someone to help get you through that. So if there's anybody that you want to just outright thank right now, feel free to do so. The floor is yours.
There's a lot of them. Definitely my family, my friends, people who came and hung out with me, watched football. Like you said, the text messages, the calls. My work family, they're absolutely amazing. I would do anything for them. I love you all.
Dr. Stein.
My Dr. Stein, I can't thank him enough.
Yeah, the guy's a miracle worker.
He's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, when he first told us, and so the tumor was so large that there was only like a space in Ben's throat the size of like a McDonald's straw. And he's like, "Do you feel okay?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm kind of that kind of mom of, you're fine, go to work, I'm busy, right? So when he showed us the scans and he's like, "No, you're going in for surgery right away. Go home, prepare, come back in 2 days. This is gonna close, he's gonna suffocate." I'm like, oh, okay, this is pretty serious. And then when we met with him again and he's like, "Yeah, it's definitely cancer and it's a big shock." But he laid out his plan so well. And removing the whole vocal cord is mind-blowing in itself. It's like, wait, how is my son going to talk? Like, wait, he's like, "It's never been done before in the U.S., but I'm going to pick and hand select my team, and we're going to do this in practice, and this is what we're going to do. And we're going to create a new one for him." So that surgery was in April, right?
April 17th.
Yeah. And so now he's working on a case study to get published. And we had to do, release and stuff. But we love that because we can maybe help someone else that is diagnosed for this.
Yeah, that's amazing. Perfect segue into my next question as well. If there was somebody who's starting a similar journey to yourself, what advice or encouragement would you tell them?
Don't give up, stay strong, keep pushing forward. You got this.
Yeah. I know I mentioned this beforehand, and we were reviewing our questions, and I brought this question up, and you guys couldn't help but smile and laugh, so I'm curious to see if you have some fun answers. But if there was one song or phrase, or maybe a couple songs or phrases, that could sum up your journey so far, what would they be and why?
One is Hard Fought Hallelujah by Brandon Lake and Jelly Roll, and The Fall by Cody Johnson.
Awesome.
Yeah. Ben would always say, Mom, I've got this. I've got this. And every time we had a procedure, a surgery, or whatever, and they bring you into the bay and they prep you and things like that. And I'd kiss him on the forehead and I'm like, buddy, you got this. And I got you. And Jesus has us. It got to a point that we always had the same team of docs anesthesiologists, things like that we got to know them very well. And then they would say, okay, Mom, do your thing. Like they knew it was coming. And then sometimes they would say it with us, like they knew that this was our thing, that we communicated that I've got you, you got this, but Jesus has us, so let's just carry on.
You had a support system back at home and
Huge.
During your journey there as well, which is extremely important.
There was a time, chemo wasn't, okay, I'm going to say this lightly, it wasn't that hard for Ben. He breezed through chemo. When we hit radiation, it was brutal. I mean, absolutely brutal. And he did the proton radiation. And there was a day he went into, where'd you go, Winfield?
Yes.
And onto the proton center. And he was just struggling. And like, okay. So he was telling me and talking to me, and I listened to him, and I'm like, listen to this song. Because I just heard it recently. And this is back in August, and it was from Brandon Lake and Jelly Roll. And I said, I want you to just listen to it. And we traveled and cried. And I said, now I want you to listen again and really listen to the words. Jesus is talking to us. He's got us, buddy. And so we really listened to it. And when there's days that I'm like, oh my gosh, can I keep doing that? I'll put it on and just sit back, listen to it. Then he was doing something, and you came into the kitchen and said, Mom, listen to the song, With the Fall.
I think I was washing dishes.
Love that he's washing dishes.
I think all parents appreciate if their kids wash their dishes without being told.
And then he had me listen to it, and I'm like, yes. So those were the things, you got this, Jesus has us, I got you. And those two songs that we really braced upon and embraced to get us through those hard times.
Thank you guys both for coming in today.
Thank you.
And chatting with us. As always, I'd like to remind you that the Radar Free Press is free. So don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to see more videos like this, feel free to check out theradar.online.